dive into the fascinating world of human behavior, where every little thing matters. Today, we'll unveil 10 astonishing facts that will change how you see yourself and those around you. These aren't mere curiosities, they're real keys to understanding the complex maze of human psychology. Are you ready to discover why we do what we do and how you can use it to your advantage? Buckle up, you're in for a real psychological roller coaster. Fact 1. The law of opposites. Ever wondered why sometimes we're attracted to people who are nothing like us? This is explained by the law of opposites. Our subconscious operates on a principle that differences not only attract, but also complement us. It's like magnets with different poles. The more the differences, the stronger the attraction. But be cautious. This doesn't always work in favor of long-term relationships. Sometimes opposites just clash, creating conflict. So the next time you think your better half should be your clone, remember, differences can also be your ally. Fact 2. The Self-Assertion Effect. How often do you do something just to prove you have the right to do it? The self-assertion effect is when we take risks or make controversial decisions to affirm our self-esteem or social status. This can range from buying an expensive car to engaging in extreme sports. All of this is done to prove to ourselves or others that we can. But remember, this effect can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can be a powerful motivator for growth and development. On the other, it can lead to reckless and dangerous actions. So the next time you feel the urge to prove something, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Fact 3. Imposter Syndrome. Ever felt like you don't deserve your success or that you'll soon be found out? Congratulations, you're experiencing imposter syndrome. This psychological phenomenon makes us doubt our abilities and achievements, even when we have every reason to be confident. This can manifest in work, relationships, and even sports. Interestingly, this syndrome often occurs in very successful people. They constantly feel they should do more and better to earn their status. But remember, self-doubt is not a sentence. It's just another facet of your complex psychology, which can and should be understood and controlled. Fact 4. Broken window effect. This phenomenon states that small problems, if not addressed, lead to bigger ones. For example, a broken window in a building that no one fixes becomes a signal for vandals that anything goes here. This effect isn't limited to the physical world. It applies to relationships and self-development too. Skip one workout, and it becomes easier to skip the next. Ignore a minor conflict in a relationship, and it can escalate into a major issue. The broken window effect reminds us how important it is to tackle problems before they become a catastrophe. Fact 5. The paradox of choice. It seems that the more options we have, the better, right? But in practice, that's not the case. The paradox of choice is that an abundance of options can lead to stress, analysis, and ultimately, dissatisfaction. Take, for example, a supermarket with hundreds of types of cereal. The choice becomes not just difficult, but exhausting. And even if you pick something, there's a feeling that you might have missed something better. This phenomenon is relevant in many areas of life, from career to relationships. So sometimes, limited choice is not a minus, but a plus. It helps us focus and ultimately makes us happier. Fact 6. The Pygmalion Effect. This phenomenon shows how our expectations and belief in a person can influence their behavior and outcomes. If you think someone is capable of great things, that belief infects the person, and they start performing better. This works in the classroom, at work, and even in sports. But there's a flip side. Negative expectations can also come true. The Pygmalion Effect is a reminder that our belief in people is not just empty words. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, changing lives for better or worse. So be careful what you believe in. Fact 7. Stockholm Syndrome. This astonishing phenomenon occurs when a victim starts to feel sympathy and sometimes even attachment to their kidnapper or abuser. Sounds absurd, right? But it's a real psychological mechanism that can kick in during extreme situations. It's a kind of defense mechanism when the brain tries to smooth over complex relationships for survival. Stockholm Syndrome can occur not only in criminal situations, but also in toxic relationships or at work. Understanding this phenomenon can help you recognize when your brain is playing a cruel joke on you and change course in time. Fact 8. The Barnum Effect. Ever read your horoscope and thought, wow, this is so me? That's the Barnum Effect at work. This psychological trick is that general and vague statements seem astonishingly accurate and personal to us. It's the basis of many pseudoscientific theories and methods, from astrology to some personality tests. Your brain wants to see itself in these descriptions, and it will find a way to do so. The Barnum Effect is often used in marketing and advertising to create the illusion of personalization. So be cautious and critical when something seems too good to be true. Fact 9. The Pareto principle in behavior. You may have heard of the 80-20 rule, but did you know it also applies to human behavior? The Pareto principle asserts that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. This can be anything from how you spend time on social media to how you build relationships. For example, 80% of your happiness may come from 20% of your friends or activities. This principle helps optimize life by allowing you to focus on what's truly important. If you start analyzing your actions through the lens of this law, you'll see how to allocate your resources and time more efficiently. The Pareto principle is not just math, it's a philosophy of life. Fact 10. The Dunbar Effect. Ever wondered why you only have a few close friends, even though you may have hundreds of friends on social media? The Dunbar Effect is the psychological explanation for this phenomenon. According to anthropologist Robin Dunbar, the human brain can maintain stable social relationships with only a limited number of people, about 150. This number includes family, friends, colleagues, and acquaintances. Interestingly, this limit applies not only to personal relationships, but also to business, teamwork, and even social networks. The Dunbar Effect reminds us that the quality of relationships is more important than their quantity. Knowing this, you can focus on those who truly matter. So we've covered 10 astonishing facts about human behavior, each of which can be a key to understanding yourself and those around you. From the law of opposites to the Dunbar Effect, these psychological laws and effects are not just interesting curiosities. They are tools for better understanding the world around us, and more importantly, ourselves. I hope this video not only broadened your horizons, but also encouraged further exploration. After all, self-awareness is the first step towards a better version of yourself. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time.